Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Cleaning Out My Closet podcast. Nailed it that time. Fucking nailed it. Nailed it. No problem.
Three times the charm, baby. That's all it takes.
No problem. What's up, Julian?
What's going on, man?
Oh, man. First of all, we've got a little bit of a different setup. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers to that. We actually got some beers this time.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the girl, my
Blue
girl.
Moon, my favorite.
Yeah, I love Blue Moon.
It's my
Can't
favorite.
go wrong with it. Only time it's better is if you have a little piece of orange, put it in there. Fucking beautiful.
All right, but this is a special episode.
Very special
This
to
is
us.
our 1 million subscriber
Woo!
special.
Yes, it is.
Round of
1 million.
applause. Round of applause. 1 million subscriber special. This is really, really special.
It is.
So we really wanted to just take the time to honor another channel that got 1 million subscribers. Just a completely separate, different channel
Yep.
that got 1 million subscribers.
Not us.
So let's take this time to say congratulations to the Cosmonaut Variety Hour. It's a channel I really enjoy. They make a lot of great content. You've never seen it yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably check it out though.
They made it to 1 million.
Recommended it highly.
It's really good quality stuff. Very funny. So good on you for that. And yeah, this in no way was a misleading title whatsoever to get people to watch this episode.
Next episode we got to do something about subscribers. Just get all those subscribers.
Dude, I remember when I sent the message to the group chat and I was like, guys, I've got an idea for the next episode's title.
It's fucking perfect.
I was like, we'll just call it our 1 million subscribers special.
$1 million.
and then we'll just say, as soon as somebody clicks on it, obviously they're gonna go, wow, these guys
Fucking assholes. It's almost as bad as those guys that you go onto like a rap song and you see the comments of them rapping.
Oh,
or check out my hottest shit, just like next Drake, and you click on it, it's just some guy just like, why? Just kill yourself. What the fuck are you doing?
but it's not misleading because
Technically.
we're actually, giving
Celebrating,
congratulations to a channel that made it to 1 million subscribers. So congratulations, you
Congratulations on
deserve
that.
it. Good for you. Okay, I said before we started, because we had a little conversation, we were talking about a couple things before we started recording.
Oh God, the
I
bear
said-
has been awoken.
Yeah. That's the troll that lives in my butthole.
He's
Do you remember that
coming.
from that movie? What was it, Clerks 2? Did
I
you
don't
ever
remember.
see that?
I saw that. I just don't remember that part.
It was the religious cashier guy, Tobias. He talked about how he couldn't have sex with his girlfriend because of her pussy troll. And
I don't remember
It was
that.
just like, we can't have sex. Yeah, why not? Because of pillow pants. And he was like, who the fuck is pillow pants? He's like, pillow pants is her pussy troll. And he goes on and tells this whole fucking story about how like when like Christian girls are young, their parents put a little pussy troll in them so that they don't have sex, because if they have sex,
Oh my
the troll will
God.
bite their penis off.
Dude, my mom told me that when not exactly that, but she said that there was teeth down there and they don't fall off until after you get married. So I was like, oh, like for like a minute I thought about, I was
That's
like,
why you're still a virgin.
exactly, with 2 kids.
And then he goes,
Beat that, God.
so what about, can you at least do like oral sex? And he's like, I would if it wasn't for Lister Fiend. No, but anyways, so the thing that I wanted to talk to you about, because I was talking about, the first thing I was talking about was shitting myself.
Yes.
I was talking about how you would think with all the times that I've shit myself in public and in private that I would be less likely to trust a fart at this point in my life. I forgot how old I was today. I don't remember. I genuinely don't remember if I'm 25 or 26. I think I'm 26.
What year were you born?
95.
Let's do the math. You'll be 26.
Okay, cool. I was in a store
That was a good one.
and someone goes, "How old are you?" Not to me, but to someone else. And then I just started thinking, how fucking old am I?
No, that's
I was
happened
like,
to me
Jesus.
though.
Once you're not 21 anymore, it just runs
worthless.
out the fucking like.
The only thing you got left after 21 is what, 25 you could legally like rent a car.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, it's fucking
You
useless.
can go to war. You can kill somebody.
Yep.
No, so I was talking about how I've shit myself a number of times in public. The first time that comes to mind, when I was a kid, I shit myself like right when I got to school.
Oh God, that's the
And,
worst.
and it was elementary school, like kindergarten. I had to go into the office with.
Oh, shit.
Why are you fucking this up for us, man?
It's ginger soul
We've trapped it somewhere in here.
in your butthole. It's just to share it up with
My
that
little
troll.
sacred raisin cake. That's what we're calling my butthole from now on. My little sacred raisin
That's what
cake.
everyone should call it for now on. That is going to be the new thing.
So basically, on top of that, I was telling you back when I used to work for another company, I shit myself in public at a grocery store like maybe a year or two ago. And I just had to toss out my fucking boxers and finish the day out with no fucking underwear on because I was like, Jesus Christ.
And that sucks too, because the job that you had, you know, you are fucking moving around. It's hot so as fuck, and you're sweating, dude. So yeah, I couldn't even imagine. And you had to wear, God. Dude, yeah, fuck that.
I was wearing like fucking tight jeans too. It was the worst combination of anything.
That's a good way to get some swamp ass going quick. And you got no barrier, even though the underwear is like just a thin barrier. You would be surprised how much it actually helps keeping some of that stank away.
Well, Vanexi asked me once. She was like, "If you took a shit in your pants and it got all over your pants, would you throw out those pants?" And I was just like, "No." For one thing, I don't go pants shopping very fucking often. So when I buy a pair of pants, I intend to have those pants for like years. Those are decade-long pants that I'm getting.
Naturally.
So I was like, "You think I'm gonna fucking waltz my ass into Old Navy every time I shit my pants? Are you fucking kidding me?" Yeah, right. Do you think I have this? Do I have a secret account somewhere set up just for pants shitting to pay for this?
Is that really that big of a problem with you?
That must be some type of insurance I need to get. Like every time I shit my pants.
It's like that episode of SpongeBob where he rips his pants, but you just shit your pants. And I shit my pants.
Like I said, I 100% don't. I don't subscribe to the idea of don't trust a fart. If I need to fart, I'll blow my asshole out, even if it's in public. So it comes with the whole risk reward like system when you live your life like that, right? You're living on the edge essentially. You're dancing the line between, you know.
Yeah. Dancing with wolves over here. Yeah. Oh, good God. No,
it's a dangerous way to live. I'll tell you that.
I honestly, I can't live like that just for the fact that I already have major stomach issues to begin with. Yeah. So I just can't trust anything. Like if it's even like somewhat suspicious, I'm like, no. If it's early in the morning, I'm going to be like, nah, let me just double down and just double check this, because if not, I'm going to be shitting myself.
Dude, I toss the sourest farts out. Constantly.
It's nothing as bad as fucking Ginger back when we first started in the closet. Do you remember how bad that shit was?
Oh God, that's all because of his diet though. That's because he drinks nothing but fucking yeah. Drink nothing but cum, nothing but his dad's gel,
Monster and Bang,
his lube,
all up in his mouth. Just Monster loads.
It's definitely the energy drinks and coffee. That's what it is. That gives you those fucking horrible sour shits, because it's just all that sugar and fucking like all those chemicals.
I know. I had Taco Bell last night, and dude, that fucked me up.
Those fuck me. Taco Bell, I like it, but it puts me on the toilet every single time because it's just not good quality. It's not good quality. Anything.
It's horse meat. Just the best.
It's the best kind of horse meat. I fucking love that.
Yeah. It is. Did you? Oh my God.
Is it overstepping?
What are you doing?
We're in the middle of recording this and we just hear Holly
loud ass
on the phone or something like that.
So before we go any further, last week's episode,
fuck me, dude.
You tried to destroy my stomach by bringing this Canada Bold to the house. Luckily for me, it was flat, so I did not get the bold taste. I know of a certain liquid other than...
Oh, wait, you got to tell that story about what you did at your job to that guy. So Julian calls me. He goes, "Dude, do you remember when we did the whole Canada Dry Bold thing? And it didn't really hit that hard because it went flat."
I could have videotaped that though.
And he calls me and go ahead, tell me the story again.
So across the street from where I work, there's a Speedway, a gas station, and I went over there for lunch just to grab something real quick to eat,
right,
grab some cigs, and I saw the fucking Canada Bold in a 20 ounce. So I was like, oh fuck. So you described to me how terrible it is, and I'm just like, I'm gonna believe you, but I don't think anyone else in their right mind would know what Canada Bold is. So I buy one bottle of it, go back to work, and one of my buddies there, I go up to him like, "Hey, I bet you can't, for 20 seconds chug this." And he's like, "Why?" He's like, I was like, "I just bet you can't do it." He's like, "Oh, I can do that easily."
Well, let me preface this. You call me and you're laughing when I answer the phone, and you go, "Dude, you just won me $20." That's how you answer the phone. I pick up and you're just like, You just won me $20.
I just so wish you would have saw it, dude. It was the best thing ever.
So he starts telling me the fucking story. Go ahead.
So yeah, I bet my coworker $20 that he can't chug this Canada Bold.
Yeah.
So he's like, easy money. In my head, I'm thinking easy money.
I got this.
He gets it, opens it up, and it does a little fizzle thing, and right there, I'm
You're
like, it sounds like a fucking,
shit.
it sounds like a dragon. Just, I'm like, yup. So
This is like moving Oprah Winfrey's pussy lips apart.
hot fire. No, so he gets it up to his mouth, smells it, and he's like, okay. Starts chugging it. First, a couple seconds, he's good to go. But I think it hits him either right here in the throat, or it just hits his belly because he's like straight chugging it, right? And all of a sudden, he's and it just fucking shoots out of his fucking nose like it's a fountain, like from the soda streams and shit. And he's just coughing, like can't breathe, turning red. I'm just
like somebody fucking pepper sprayed him. You know those videos?
I'm just like, oh my god, I'm laughing so hard. I'm like, oh my god, I killed this guy.
Fucking amazing, dude.
So yeah, we got Ginger Sean's favorite.
No, you mean mine?
No, not Ginger Sean. Oh yeah, speaking of that, non-guest episode this week. So, cheers to you.
Oh god. Okay, so I think I've talked about this on the podcast. Is I used to be a huge fan of Fireball. Cheers. I used to be a giant fucking fan of Fireball. I used to drink it all the. You're insane. I'm not doing that. Fuck you. I used to bring it to every party I would go to and just drink it myself by myself. Like I would drink other shit, but I would also just bring it because it was my favorite fucking thing to drink.
And it was relatively cheap.
Super cheap.
$22 for a fucking handle.
So I would get the one that's like that big, like right around there. I would get that one and I'd bring it anytime I was going to a party, and I went to a party and they had some that was already there. That was about a smaller bottle that was, I think it was full. So I drank that whole thing.
Oh shit.
And then I was like, we've got this whole bottle here. I'm already in it. I'm like faded already, right? Like I've been drinking Jungle Juice. I've had a couple beers. I played beer pong. And then I also like topped off that fucking bottle of Fireball. And I go, we got this whole bottle here. And we've been partying for like 4 hours. I'm like, who's gonna fucking hit this bottle with me?
Let's get
Everyone
it.
turned me down. Everyone turned me down. Nobody wanted to drink it.
No.
Like everyone was done. They were cool with what they were drinking, and I think everyone had hit that point where they were like, "Yeah, we're at that sweet spot of drunk." And I was like,
"Yeah, once you find that spot, you want to stay there."
I was like, I did not bring this whole fucking thing to
not to drink it. Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna take this home because it's just gonna sit there because I'm a social drinker. I'm a private smoker. I like to get high by myself. I don't like to interact with people when I'm high. I like to just chill, lay down, play some music, and just fucking like.
He plays the Beatles on his belly, just fucking drums it out.
On my balls, you mean? I just start flicking them and shit.
Just grabs it and just lets it go and just hits his butthole. Just like
I'm just using my taint as an instrument. I'm like the one-man band, but just with my fucking genitals.
Yeah, he was actually the eighth man of the Blue Man Group for a while, but they just due to different views on things.
But anyways, my story of how I almost died of alcohol poisoning was that fucking night I decided, fuck it, I'll just drink the whole thing by myself.
Naturally.
I wasn't thinking I was going to do that. Here's the thing. So I grabbed the thing and I just start pouring it into my cup. I'm like, who's doing it with me? Who's doing it with me? Everyone says no.
Right.
Everyone says no. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, guys? Like, let's fucking rage.
Let's
Come
fucking
on.
Party.
Like,
so was this like a high school party or?
No. This was I was
high school?
probably 21, 22, something like that.
Yeah.
I had this group of friends that they would always throw like house parties and stuff like that. They were cool. But I noticed, like, as I start filling my cup, everyone says no. So I'm already doing it. So I just go,
fuck it,
turn it,
and
just fill the whole cup, and it goes all the way to the top. A red Solo cup, just fill the whole fucking thing. And I said, fuck it.
Just fucking. Well, the thing that sucks about
I chugged that shit.
The Fireball. It's so sweet.
So drunk that night. I spent the whole morning up until like 1 in the afternoon
just
puking my fucking brains out. You know when you get rid of everything in your stomach?
Oh, it's just that dry stomach bile, yo.
And it just is horrible. So I remember my friends, I helped them clean up that night, but I was so fucking out of it that like I was like basically like falling over as I'm picking up cups and plates off the floor.
You're just making it worse at this point. Just making more mess.
I remember I sat down on the couch and this one guy got up and he's like, "You want to see how many push-ups I can do?"
Dude, why is there always that one guy? You just like everyone's like drunk as fuck. It's like, I can just fucking do 20 push-ups right now. Want to bet?
I think it was like this Mexican dude or something like that who was kind of like he was a little bit like Cholo.
It was Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, right.
He was there to collect some taxes.
Dude,
Orale, Holmes, I could do like 20 push-ups,
so
bro.
he first of all, when he says that, I was just like, first of all, man, I don't know if you want to do that because I'm like, you might be drunker than me, dude. And he tries to get up and he can't even get himself up. He's just in a seated position. And you know when you're totally out of it, you can't even remember how your body properly fucking functions.
Right.
So he's like just trying to remember how to like, all right, this
gravity
this
just
limb
does not
goes
exist
here
at
and
that
this
point.
one here. Can't figure it out. Then he eventually gets up and he tries and he stands up and he goes just fucking falls over, dude. Just wham right onto the floor. And then he's like, I'm fine, I'm cool, man. And then everyone's like, no, just chill. Just like he's like trying to do push-ups. I had to explain it, but I'm fucked up. So I'm like, yo, relax.
Dude, remind me after this. I got a funny drunk story as well.
But I basically was I wound up barely being able to help them clean up because I was so fucked.
Right.
I go to sleep in their guest room because I had already made the arrangement. Like, hey, I'm just gonna get fucked up, so like I'm just gonna sleep here.
Yeah.
And like
responsible.
I helped them set up the party. You know, I helped them make all the stuff, and we made like all the. I helped them make the jungle juice, everything. We set up the chairs, all that shit. So, and I helped them clean. So it's like no problem. They're my friends. His sister made breakfast in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And
did the smell of it just make you throw up?
She came over and she lays the plate down next to me, and I go, and I fucking hate it. And ever since then, the smell of this fucking vile trash.
So if you can't chug it all, I could take one for the team.
Oh my god, I'm so worried about this. I'm so worried.
So hold on, there is a bag.
Dude, get me that bag. I don't know where it is. Oh.
It's on on that chair. Just in case. This could be the cleaning out my podcast first.
Oh god, sorry about the ASMR going on.
Oh,
here,
you could literally, that's all trash.
Oh my god.
So
let me move away from the laptop and shit to do this. I know I'm not. I don't know if I should even try and chug this. I'm fucking. Worried.
I wouldn't chug it.
Oh god.
But Nexie called me. She said if you don't chug it, she's leaving you. So.
Holy shit. Oh man. Last time
don't smell it, bro.
I think I'm okay with the smell now. It took me years.
Yeah.
Because literally just the thought of the smell would make me dry heave. That's how much I drank of this shit. And I fucking swear to God, I was like, someone asked me, they're like, dude, how did you not die of alcohol poisoning?
A little bit of you did die that night.
Yeah, I definitely did. The party died in me.
You had a couple of hairs of red. That's where your soul left you for that night.
All right, fuck it. Let's try and do this.
Let's do it.
Oh God, this is terrifying. It's just, it's like PTSD with the fucking the amount of vomit that was pouring out of me that day.
This is making me laugh way harder than it should. Watch, I'm gonna get like super hard in the paint and get drunk and throw up.
Puke all over your shit, and you're gonna have to clean it. You're like
for the Exorcist, your head's gonna be fucking turning around.
Just right on the mixer.
Please.
Okay.
You can't baby bird it.
Fuck. Actually, I think I'm cool with it now.
Yeah?
It doesn't make me want to throw up anymore.
Hey, this is like reverse AA. I got the bagels.
Yeah. Actually,
it's not terrible. Like I don't mind them every once in a while. They are a little bit like on the sweeter side, so I can't get them.
Didn't they make some type of connection between this and like kidney failure or something like that? Wasn't there?
Isn't that all alcohol?
Yeah, but I think like they didn't. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there was like a Fireball story that they put out that it like causes like extreme like liver damage or kidney damage or something like that.
It could be.
Well, now that I know I'm cool with it, I don't need this bag. I'll just drink it for the rest. I'm not gonna chug this shit. Fuck you.
It's that's better than nothing. It's all we can do.
Oh God,
It hit
it's
you.
that burn though that I forgot
That
about.
afterward.
God damn.
So actually, you know what? Fuck it. I didn't know how we were gonna do this episode, honestly, because we've been just kind of just freeballing it lately. And
Got
it
a
just
couple of random stories myself.
did you want to just start with Johnny Rocket's
Oh yeah.
recommend or
Okay. Yeah.
his
Yeah.
topics that he
All right.
had come up with?
So what we've asked, we ask you guys this almost every episode, you know, because it's hard for us to do really structured episode on specific topics that we're really passionate about, because not every week is there a story that we both give enough of a fuck about
Right,
to
basically.
do some like really interesting introspective like deep dive into, you know. So we always put it out there to the audience to leave us comments about things that you want us to talk about, things that
Right.
you're interested in knowing about us, or things that we might have opinions on, whatever that might be. So with that being said, we had a comment from one of our listeners who's pretty frequent in the YouTube comments. I mean,
Yeah,
he comments on
just about every
video.
yeah.
Johnny Rocket,
Ooh, there it goes. That was my fucking fireball fart.
beautiful.
Ooh,
Jesus Christ.
Oh wow.
Just over here crop dusting and shit.
It's gonna just stick to
Yeah,
the
the
foam.
insulation, it's gonna stick on here.
You're just gonna see panels start falling off.
So anyways,
Sorry, Johnny Rocket.
he asked us what were our top 10 favorite comedies in
From
the last
past
20 years.
Yeah. And I thought when I first read the comment, I was like, oh, that's just kind of like one of those generic questions. And I thought about
Start
it.
insulting him.
Yeah, this
I
fucking
think he's
piece of shit.
illiterate. His parents don't love him.
They were probably cousins. Just the way I could just tell by the way he capitalizes letters.
I don't know if he's straight or not, but if he is, his girlfriend's cheating on him.
Yep. I'm fucking your girlfriend. I'm
If
sorry.
he's gay, his boyfriend's cheating on him.
I'm fucking your boyfriend.
He's non-binary.
I'm fucking the oven. Whatever you're into, I'm fucking it.
So we went ahead and compiled our lists together individually. We haven't told each other what the lists are, and we figured it'd be a good way to just go about
Doing a fucking random topics. And this is actually excuse me, this ended up being a lot harder than I thought because the
Yes.
20-year span, it is a lot bigger
from
than you
2000
think.
to 2020.
And there's and like we kind of had this discussion on the phone before you got here, and I was kind of explaining to you with the genre of comedy, it's changed so much just every like 5-10 years. Like I can remember early 2000 comedy, like Scary Movie, American Pie, like that, you know, those type of comedies, and then it transitions into like the shit that we're watching now, you know what I mean? It's just so different. So that's how it got, you were saying earlier, there's romantic comedies, action comedies. It's so many options.
Well, I just think that the genre of comedy is probably the most versatile out of any of like
oh no, for sure.
the genres of entertainment, because you can do so much with comedy. You can make an action movie that's also a comedy.
Right.
You can make a romantic comedy. You can make a dramatic comedy. You can
And the
make a
thing is that if
political
you do it
satire.
right too, they turn out really good. And that's not like even like in my favorite like action movies or like dramas, there's always that not comedic tone, but there's always like the funny line or something that just kind of just eases the rest of the scene or whatever. And you kind of need that, and in those movies and shit. And so I love the fact that like you were saying earlier on the phone, like comedy is probably my favorite genre as well. Maybe between comedy and action, just depending on my mood.
Yeah.
But I love to laugh.
Yeah.
So like this was actually a pretty good question, or like thing for us to
love
talk
to
about
come.
because me too. On your glasses. Oh, speaking of that, so we have purchased the Mia Khalifa glasses.
Yeah, that was you.
That was me.
Yeah.
It was me. So and the thing is, it's a surprise for Ginger
Couldn't even
Sean.
keep your hands on it. They just kept slipping right
Dude,
out.
it actually came in its own little hazmat suit. It was full hazmat suit, and it said, there's a process for it to decontaminate and everything. 72 hours. Wait for it. But yeah, so I'm gonna surprise Ginger Sean with that. He's gonna be really fucking excited, I think.
It's gonna be like when you get a dog a chew bone. There's just teeth marks all over it when we get it.
But yeah, so fuck. Let's
Here,
let's
you
get
want
into
to
it.
you want to go back and forth? We can just go like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go, I go, you go, I go.
So I also am.
Did you put them in a specific order? or
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Whenever you're ready.
So fuck it. I'll go. Want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alrighty, so like I said, this, and I know I had my brother. I called him up this like when we had this
Yeah.
idea to do this. I was like, "Hey, get your list together because I know for a fact that like
You're gonna remember stuff.
there's gonna be so
yeah.
many fucking movies in that 20-year span that I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna be so pissed that I forgot. So keep that in mind. So my first one is gonna be Borat.
That's I had that on mine originally, but I took it off.
Did you?
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
I tossed back and forth about whether or not to keep it on there, to be honest with you, and I do regret taking it off. But the way I approached my list was, if it's on TV, if it's just like playing, if it's
Right.
like just starting like right then, do I drop everything I'm doing and watch it?
Mm-hmm.
If not, then I don't consider it like one of my favorites. You know? What
Yeah,
I mean?
I took a similar approach. Like I had that in mind as well, and then just something that like if I there's so many movies that I've watched and I just quote them to this day.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a 20-year-old movie or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I took that into consideration. I took the fact, like you said, if it's on TV, am I going to want to watch it? And so like with Borat, I feel like that's probably one of my favorite movies that he's done overall.
Yeah.
And it kind of like set up, I mean, other than Ali G, that was like the biggest one.
Yeah.
And it kind of set up all of his other stuff. So it was like the
I feel
introduction.
like Bruno was really underrated for him.
Yeah, that
I think
wasn't.
it was really good.
It
Dude, he got
was.
Paula Abdul to sit on a bunch of Mexicans and do an interview about how she's
Was
a
that
humanitarian.
was that on that one or was that Borat? I thought
No,
that was Borat.
that was Bruno.
What did he do in Borat? He did something similar in that sense with Borat, though.
Uh,
But anyways, it's one of my fucking like to this
Dude,
day I quote
But
that
imagine
movie.
getting like a
Yeah.
celebrity to
And at
come
the
and
time,
talk
she was
about
an
how
American
she cares
Idol.
about. She cares so much about people.
Just sitting
and
on
she
a fucking
sits on a
person,
person
and
to
eating
do
like
it.
chips and salsa off of some dude.
It's just some
probably her
Mexican dude
cousin.
on his hands and knees.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, can you, I can't imagine the level of thought that went into crafting that fucking joke.
Dude, it's the best.
Okay. Mine. Grandma's Boy.
Oh shit! See, that's what I'm saying. I
Do
think
you
that's a
remember
movie.
fucking
Yeah.
Grandma's
Dude,
Boy?
the doll, and he's jerking off, and the fucking opens the door, and he comes all over. Oh,
like-
and the chimpanzee, dude.
when it cuts to after he's like coming,
Uh,
and then it's them standing outside, and he's like, "You came on my mom."
dude, that's
It's just such a ridiculous
It
fucking
is.
like I quote that thing endlessly, like JP, the fucking wizard guy, the like whiz kid who's
Yeah.
making it come, where he's like, like he thought he was a robot and shit.
wearing that like
And
the
he's like-
Neo fucking trench
It's
coat
like-
looking thing.
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, hey JP, that's a real cool outfit. How much do clothes cost in the Matrix?" And he's like, dude,
I
the scene where
completely
they go to
forgot
the
about that.
vegan fucking restaurant, and it's David Spade is the waiter, but he's like
remember that.
he's like got like this effeminate like kind of like voice to him, so he's like, "Hi, my name is Shiloh. I'll be your waiter." And he's like,
dude, I'm gonna watch that movie. I haven't watched that in so
Dude,
long.
They were like, do you guys serve any alcohol here? Or like, do you have a bathroom, or do I have to take a shit in a plant? He's just like, he goes, "Well, we do have shots of wheatgrass." And then Nick Swartzen goes, "That's great if I want to be sober and vomit."
Dude, I fucking love Nick Swartzen.
it's such a good movie.
It
It's
really
so
is.
fucking funny. Like,
Is that so? That's a Sandler production movie, right?
yeah, I think it's a Happy
Or Happy Madison.
Madison. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did that.
Dude, to be
That's one
honest,
of those cult classes, 'cause, like, it never really hit with
like mainstream audience or
did,
whatever.
it
And when it came
definitely
out in
did.
theaters, I like that. I'm pretty sure it did
got
really
blown-
shitty. Yeah,
It got blown out of the
But no.
water. Once it hit DVDs,
so I just thought of another movie that I'm not. It's not on my list, but
Mm.
is like one of those same like categories as Grandma's Boy. God, I'm gonna put that on my honorable mentions right now.
Okay, you go next.
All right, Bad Santa.
Wow. See, I looked at it and I was like, I don't know. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and I liked it as a kid, but I haven't seen it.
Dude, we
in a long
watched it
time.
so many times. The second one, I wasn't. It really wasn't.
I remember seeing the second one and I didn't like it.
It was. Yeah, I'll say it just wasn't that great.
I felt like
The
they
first
could've
one
ended it with the
really
first
good.
one.
Oh yeah,
was,
yeah.
like,
They would have just
perfect.
ended it the way they did. It would have been
Mhm.
perfect. But that was just another one of those movies where, like, I could just pull up any random scene, and I know for a fact I'm about to fucking laugh my ass off. Where I can't remember his name. The actor that plays like the mall manager. He passed away like recently after the movie was
Oh.
out. Oh, what the fuck was his name?
I know who you're talking
He was a
about.
pretty famous actor, like in the 80s and shit.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
But yeah,
about.
when he was talking to, you know, the guy that plays Bad Santa, he's like,
Billy Bob Thornton.
yeah, he's like, were you fornicating with
Yeah.
heavy set women in the JJ room? He's like, fornicating? He's like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, fuck them.
I always, for me, it's the interactions between him and the kid.
The little, or
It's
the
just
little
the
elf.
way that he talks to the fucking kid is hilarious. He's always like in disbelief of how stupid or how fucking ridiculous the kid is or something like that. And he talks to him like he's a grown ass man.
Dude, it's the
what the
worst.
fuck? What are you talking about? This
What do
little
you- what do
fucking
you-
gay little shit away from me.
When
Like,
he fucking eats all of his chocolates and shit. He,
oh
like,
my
I
god,
felt
what a
so-
selfish bastard. No, that's a good pick.
It really
That's a
was,
good pick.
yeah.
It's also like a good like holiday thing too, because it also falls
Yes.
under like comedy, but also a holiday movie, and it's kind of got some drama in it too.
No, that's what I say. Like, it was a really good overall just movie.
Okay,
But yeah, it made me
my
laugh.
next one, Tropic Thunder.
Ah, that's on my list.
That's on your list. Yeah,
Yep.
I feel like it's the perfect kind of.
Everything, dude.
It's one of those great ensemble movies. Like it's got so many celebrities in it because it is like a big like kind of. They're doing this huge parody of Hollywood itself.
right. It's a
you know?
parody of itself. Yeah.
Right, it's a parody of like
so before I
the,
let you go
the
on,
culture
so
of it.
what we'll do if we have a movie that one of us pick and it's on our list already, we'll pull one of our honorable mentions.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
we'll just do it like that.
I like that. So, yeah, it's great. You've got Ben Stiller. You've got Robert Downey Jr. playing an Australian guy who's playing a black guy.
I love when he's Australian. He's got like the blue eyes, the blonde hair.
Yeah, it's great down to the very beginning of the movie where they play the fake trailers
Oh, dude.
at the
I
beginning
was
when the movie
yeah,
starts.
because we watched that in theaters, and I remember, yeah, it was the fuck, dude. Every single one of them was so funny, but I think the Tobey Maguire and the
yes.
Robert Downey Jr., the
the
priest
Devil's
one,
Alley. Fucking hilarious, dude. When he
but-
grabs the beads and the beat starts playing because they play like gay monks. It's fucking hilarious.
that would have been such a fun fucking movie just to be a part of.
Dude,
That's honestly, that's a good pick.
the guy that plays
really
the
is.
gay like rapper, he's like he's like has to pretend to be a ladies
MILF
man.
or what do you have? Something juice,
Booty juice.
booty juice, yeah.
or no, I think it's booty sweat. Yeah, booty
Some
sweat.
shit like that.
And a bust a nut bar.
Bust a
He
that's
had his own candy bar. That was a bust a nut bar.
and Jack Black. That was
Jack
probably
Black's cocaine
my.
addiction.
Yeah, dude, he's
is
like on the
drug
fuck.
addict.
He's like on the tree all
I
tied
love
up.
when he's on the tree and it comes out that the dude is gay when he mentions he's like the gay rapper when they find
Mm-hmm.
out that he's gay and he goes, you must have somebody at home that you're like waiting for, and they're like, come on, what's their name? He goes, Lance. He like lets it slip and they're like, Lance.
That's a guy's name.
He's like, I said Nance.
I said
and then
Nance.
Jack Black is like, oh, he's like going through like he's like
Withdrawals and
detoxing and
shit,
shit. So he's like, I swear to God, if you let me off this tree, I'll suck your dick right now. And he's like, I'm not gay. Cradle the balls.
Cradle the balls.
I'll be
Play
so
with
gentle.
Play with the tape. Just whatever.
Swallow the gravy. Come on, big boy. He's like out of it, bro.
Oh, that is a really fucking good movie.
It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, no, it's your turn. Go ahead.
So I have so take Tropic Thunder out. Super bad.
That's on mine.
Yeah.
That's definitely on mine.
Dude,
I couldn't miss that.
That's one of those movies that I probably on my list of the top 10. That's probably on my top 5 as far as most viewed. Anytime that's on, it don't matter what part of the movie it is.
You're watching
I'm
it,
watching
exactly.
that shit. It's such like
It doesn't matter. It's
Such
one
a
of those
good
movies you
fucking
could be all the
movie.
way at the end and you're like, man, there's only 10 minutes left. I
fuck
gotta
it, let's
watch
do it.
this.
Yeah, because
Come
every
on.
single part of that movie is just hilarious. And it
Whenever
just-
no matter where you started off in, the rest of the movie kind of reminds you of any part that you missed.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's one of those perfect films where it's like you can miss anything, but as long as you've seen it once,
You've seen it, yeah.
like you watch it again, it doesn't fucking matter.
No, that's 100% because like I'll just randomly, like you said, like it'll be on TV and it'll be halfway through, and I'll just like think of just random things that I haven't seen because I came in halfway in the movie. I'm just laughing my ass off, like the beginning scene when what's his name just fucking hucks a loogie on him, calls him a fucking faggot. He's like, oh,
It's like I'm having a party,
you fucking faggot.
dude. I love the part where he's in the home ec class and he's just
Fuck
talking.
me, right?
He gets super real with the teacher. He's just like, no offense. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want to mock your profession or anything.
Right.
But we all know this is a bullshit class.
Bullshit-
Sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry. This
it
is
is
bullshit.
bullshit,
We're all here to get an A. That's it. Like, I'm not going to use any of this stuff. It's not useful to me in any. It's so fucking funny, dude.
And that's another one. It's super quotable.
Like-
and it's like random parts. Like, remember that part where they're playing soccer? He's like, go
Oh,
piss your
yeah.
pants. Or he's like, that was 10 years
That was
ago.
like 10
People
years
don't
ago."
people don't forget.
The thing that I like about that movie, because I considered one of my first thoughts was I tried to go different genres for each movie too.
Right.
So I thought about the teen comedy, like the classic like raunchy teen comedy, which was probably made popularized I think for our generation mostly with American Pie.
Yeah, it's like early 2000s.
Like obviously
and
like
shit.
the generation before us had like the Animal House, like the Revenge of the Nerds, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I think American Pie, the first one is 99, so technically you can't put
that's
it
why
in
I
there.
didn't put it in
but
there.
I still think that Superbad is a much better movie overall.
I agree, 100%.
But where was I going with this? I was gonna say something.
Something very, very thought provoking. Do you have the? Over
Oh
there?
yeah, right here.
Thank you.
Cracking open a cold one.
Cracking open a semi-cold one.
No, but it was like that thing that we were talking about where I really appreciated it when I watched it as a kid because
Right.
it felt like a movie that was made by actual teenagers, which it was because Seth Rogen and I think his co-writer Evan Goldstein or Goldblum, something like that.
They wrote it like when they're like
they wrote it when they were
17 or-
younger than
Oh,
that.
even
They
was
were in
that?
middle school when they
Oh,
started
wow.
writing it. They were both in like Hebrew school, and then
L'chaim.
they didn't finish it until they were in like high school or something like that. So they
What,
spent
Hebrew
like
school?
a decade working on it. So basically, yeah, that's why it feels so genuine because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like as much as I like American Pie and it is like a very much a time capsule of that era,
But we weren't
It's-
that age. You know what I mean?
it's such a like polished version of what it is to be like a teenager anyways.
True.
Whereas Superbad is so real. It's so over the top at the same time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like watching The Office where you're like, this is so preposterous, but at the same time you're like, there's this level of realism to it that is such an appealing like element.
Well, no, for sure. Like I said with Superbad, there's you remember any high school party that you had. There was a scene from Superbad. It wasn't
Yeah.
maybe not that exaggerated, but that happened to you. You know what I mean? Smuggling the fucking alcohol into
Yeah,
church
yeah.
and shit like that. The like like just random shit like that. You know,
Love when the kids are
actually
drinking it and they're burping bubbles. Fucking ridiculous, dude. They're gonna die.
It's all right. That's where the Tide Pod challenge really started.
That shit is fucking hilarious. You know, I never had to experience the whole getting a fake ID thing, but it felt super genuine to like, because you know somebody that would totally fuck up getting their fake ID in that way. Everybody knows
100%.
someone that would do something stupid as calling themselves McLovin. I like when
Muhammad McLovin. Muhammad's the most common name in the fucking world. Read a
book.
fucking book.
He's like, it was between that or Muhammad.
Why the fuck would it be between that and Muhammad?
He's like, McLovin? One name?
One-
What are you,
one-
seal?
That's what I'm saying, dude. That movie's so
He's
quotable.
like, it's from Hawaii. I mean, I guess that's hard to track. I don't know. Dude, everything about that fucking movie is brilliant. And I think it's so perfect. I think it's like this. I feel like you can watch American Pie and go, oh yeah, this is like definitely what they considered like raunchy teen comedies during that time period. But I think that only holds up for so long. Like it starts to feel like aggressively dated as time goes on. And you there's a little bit of a nostalgia element to watching that still, so that's appealing in its own way. But I think to make something super timeless, that's where I would go to Superbad over American Pie any day of the week.
Nah, dude. And honestly, the casting on it was perfect. And that's another thing that I
Yeah.
was like watching back now as like an adult watching American Pie. It's like you see these characters that are playing high schoolers and they look like they're 30. You know what I
Well,
mean?
the guy who played McLovin was only like 16.
That's
or
honestly
17.
literally he had to have his mom in
When he did the sex
yeah
scene.
when he did
Yeah,
the sex
oh,
scene.
that's so awkward.
All
dude.
these like they were literally like that age, so like it just was like you said, it had that realistic feel to it. Ooh. All right, so your go.
All right, let's see. Well, I can cross that off
Your
my
fucking video
list.
froze.
Oh, mine froze.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I've already talked about this one, so I'm gonna skip this one and go into another one. Beer Fest.
Oh, okay.
Beer Fest, and basically I also want to kind of like put in parentheses anything by the Broken Lizards group, which is the guys that make those
Super
movies.
Troopers.
Super Troopers.
Not Eurotrip. Beer Fest. Was it Eurotrip?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Super Troopers, Beer Fest, what is it? Club Dread, which was like almost like their version of like a horror parody. It was
I don't
like,
think I watched that one.
oh fuck, you haven't seen
I
that?
don't think so.
It
doesn't sound familiar. So I might. I mean, I watch a lot of.
It's essentially the same premise as like Scary Movie.
Okay.
Like, but it's their own twist on it because Scary Movie is like that small town, mystery murder.
Yeah.
Like Scary Movie. This was like the, you go on like a tropical island, go to like a retreat, and like there's this crazy murderer, like going around. It's hilarious, dude. It's this funny ass movie.
I'm
where
about to check that one out then.
The whole premise is like the murderer was this guy who got his dick chopped off by like a witch or something like that, and he roams the jungle around the amusement
Just
park
haunting everyone.
that got built, and like he goes around chopping people's dicks off or something. I think it's like. And there's like a character in it. It's called like the amusement park is called like Coconut Pete's Paradise, and the guy Coconut Pete is he's like this fucking rip off of who is it? Is it Jimmy Buffett that does Margaritaville?
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett.
So he they're all sitting around the fire and he's playing songs, and a girl in her 20s yells out, she's like, "Play Margaritaville," and then everyone's like, they're all like, "Oh shit," and he goes,
loses his shit.
He's like, I think you mean Pina Colada Berg, my song that came out 10 fucking years before Jimmy Buffett put out his little song. But you wouldn't know that, would you? Because you're only fucking 12 years old, you little bitch. And then they have to grab him and they're like, whoa. He's just like, get the fuck out of my eye. Like, he starts flipping out. So I constantly quote like that fucking movie, like Pina Colada Berg sets me off. Whenever I see Margaritaville play on something, I always go, play Pina Colada Berg. Oh my god, yeah, no, it's great. It's like their own version of like it's completely original though. It's not like they copied Scary Movie in any way.
Right,
it
has
has
their
its
own little
own
twist and
thing,
everything,
like way different. And you, in the same sense that like when you watch Scary Movie for the first time, you're kind of just like, how is this gonna like? How are they gonna work any of this into it? You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it's making fun of a bunch of movies. Where I feel like Scary Movie is making fun of like scary movies from that specific era. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
It's a lot of pop culture references. So I don't think it necessarily like it doesn't resonate with an audience that will watch it like 20 years later.
That's the biggest problem.
Who didn't grow
with
up.
Scary movies
When you
and shit like
when
that's
you
very
make
time capsuled.
Exactly. It's like every single movie is just pop culture references. So there's the problem with that. You know what I mean? It's great
at the
right
time.
when it comes out,
when it's relevant.
But once it's past 10 years, if you show that movie to someone who's like 12 years old, 15 years old now, they will not get a single fucking reference.
Well, that's why Family Guy is so
oh god,
got
don't
so
get me
terrible.
Started on that shit.
Okay, so before we get too derailed, we won't go on that.
But Club Dread, instead of being like pop culture references, it's making fun of tropes of like horror movies.
Okay.
So like the idea that the killer never dies, instead of it being a specific scene from a movie where a killer doesn't die, and you'd have to have seen that movie to get that reference.
Gotcha.
You understand by your knowledge of horror movies.
That's how come I love them, like that movie Cabin in the Woods.
Yes, great movie.
For that same reason.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
it's just, coming at you with all the generic bullshit that you would typically see in a horror movie or a scary movie. And
but it turns it on its head.
Exactly.
Yeah. Does it so well.
I'm going to have to check that out, though.
Club Dread, I'm telling you, you'll really like it, man.
Okay.
Go
all
ahead.
right. So, 40-Year-Old Virgin.
That was on mine originally. I took
Was
it off.
it?
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of those movies. So that one,
Put the pussy on the pedestal.
on the fucking the pedestal. Put a pussy on the pedestal. I just love go Kelly Clarkson. And the funny thing is, they were actually ripping his
real
fucking hair
yeah.
off of his chest.
The reactions
And
were
it's
entirely
100%
real.
genuine.
Everything he said, and when the black dude leaves, that was real too.
Because he's like, I can't fucking take this. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up. He's like,
Oh my
you need to
God.
keep your bitch on a leash.
Oh my god, that was the best.
Dude, you remember Kevin Hart was in that movie?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
He starts to fight with him. He's like, nah, come on, man, you can't like help me out. Like
With stereo or
he's
some
just like,
shit.
why you got to be a bitch for? He's like, see, you wanted. He's like, now you got one. He gets in his face, and then I love when the Indian guy goes by Steve Carell. He's like, forecast 50% chance of drive-by.
Dude, that movie. Seth Rogen was in that. He
Dude,
was so
many. Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen, fucking, well, Steve Carell, obviously. Mindy Kaling from The Office.
Yep.
It's funny because that whole era of like early 2000s, whenever somebody from The Office would get a movie, you'd always see someone else from The Office in there.
Yep.
They would always get. I think that they always like helped them get a part in it or something like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I mean, obviously, just the chemistry, I'm sure, on The Office itself, they already have, like, you know, that tight knit little thing. So it's like, it makes sense.
But it's also like a great Easter egg.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you're a fan of The Office, even if the movie is shitty, which most of them were, you would always be like, oh my God, there's Jim, and oh my God, there's this. Like, it's fucking great.
Fucking dope.
No, but that movie that's a timeless fucking movie. That's a classic for sure.
Love that one.
It's such a great premise, such an original premise. You've got this guy who's basically all but given up on having sex. He's basically ready to live the rest of his life a virgin and just be a weirdo. He's a really sweet, awesome dude. Yeah. But
really into comics and action figures.
He's just given up. He's had so many opportunities when he was younger, but every one of them went bad. So it kind of left him with almost like PTSD. Oh God!
Braces. This is my first time.
Or when the girl starts sucking his toes and he fucking kicks her in the teeth. Jesus Christ! Oh, it's so fantastic.
And the funny thing is too, like you were saying, it's such an original like premise.
It's great, yeah.
And it's so weird. Like when you think about it now, it's like, how did no one not think about this? Because it's one of those things. It's like it's such a relatable thing in a sense. Like it happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everyone either knows someone or has heard a story about that before this movie had even come out. But just the way like Steve Carell just fucking killed it.
Yeah.
Like he was the 40-year-old virgin. You know what I mean?
No, I think he co-wrote it.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
I think he co-wrote it with somebody. Yeah. I mean,
well, because isn't that a Judd Apatow
Judd Apatow?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he directed it. Yeah, he might have co-wrote it with him. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he wrote it. At the very least, he co-wrote it.
That's a good fucking movie, though.
Okay.
All right, so you're up to go.
This one.
Oh God.
Hot Tub Time Machine, baby.
Okay. I'm not mad at that one.
I fucking love.
I'm not mad at that one.
Hot Tub Time Machine, not the second one.
Yeah.
The second one kind of.
Most comedies, the second ones are.
Yeah, you really can't expect much on it when it comes to making a sequel to something like that, especially when you do something that's
very far few in between.
Fire in the pan, like, you know what I mean? Like it's like lightning in a fucking bottle.
Oh no,
if you make one of those, imagine if they made a Superbad 2. How much of a shit show that would be, or follows them into college or something. Oh God, I would.
There's like I said, there's very few movies that the sequel.
Like American Pie really shot itself in the foot because they kept making those fucking movies
every fucking 2 years.
They're like American Pie 2, and then they just started doing the
Bandcamp,
the DVD straight to DVD movies.
Yeah, and I think pretty much the only person that was like connected from the originals was the dad.
Yeah, yeah. Which made no fucking sense. I don't understand.
He was the only actor that was like, okay, I'll fucking do it.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck it.
And I don't hate those movies in any way, but they diminish the quality when it comes to the first movie. Like as time goes on, they just kind of become this like soulless cash grabs.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of like I was talking about earlier.
And they get progressively more raunchy too. There's way more shots of tits, way more like jokes about
what was
was
it like Naked Mile was one of them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now though, when I was a kid, I jerked off to that movie so much. So I
know what to get you for your birthday.
That scene where the Naked Mile starts. Okay, there's a scene where it starts, and the three main characters show up, and they're like, "What are you guys not gonna do it?" And they're like, "I don't know." And then the three main girls just all go. I was like, fucking shot. Was shooting ropes.
Mia Khalifa
shooting ropes, bro.
Like Spider-Man just swinging webs.
Caught my dog, pulled him over to me.
Get over here. Finish him. Fatality.
No,
flawless victory.
So Hot Tub Time Machine, dude. Again,
Okay.
another fucking amazing premise. It falls more into like the ridiculous side of things,
Yeah,
but
right.
when it comes to things like a comedy, that's never a bad thing.
If you do it right.
You can and it's, I feel like this movie's balanced so well because the main premise of the film, I think what's important with the comedies is that the main premise is something actually serious and relatable. So when you look at something like Superbad, obviously the circumstances are ridiculous, right? But the main focus is on the core of it is that these two friends who have been with each other for years are separating from each other and going off onto their separate paths into adulthood. And it's something we can all kind of relate to. We've all had friends, we've all lost friends in these kind of situations, you know? So it feels like super genuine, super relatable. And I'm sure when they wrote the movie, Seth Rogen and his buddy, they were probably thinking, you know, one day we'll go to college and we're going to wind up like, you know, falling away from each other, you know? So I'm sure that led to a lot of real like intimate moments where they just thought like, yeah, that's why it writes so genuine. And the same thing with something like Hot Tub Time Machine, where it's essentially a group of friends who were all super close back when they were younger. But as time went on, as things naturally you know, your friendships sort of like take a back burner to the rest of the world and to your life, your marriages, whatever that might be. So they all kind of go off and they do their own thing. And the whole premise is that this one character played by, oh my god, I know his name, dude.
Which character?
The one who's Lou, the bald one. I know his name. Oh man.
Oh, it's on
Cordray, something Cordray. His last name's Cordray.
Not Josh.
Whatever. Anyway, he's a comedian.
That's another like really well casted movie.
Yes.
Like it works
John Cusack.
perfect.
It's got Craig Robinson
from The Office.
yeah, right. No, but so he essentially
the weird the young one.
I don't know his name, to be honest with you, but he's also in The Office.
Yeah,
the later seasons. That's interesting. Yeah, but yeah. So he basically reaches out to each one of his friends from years ago, back when they were best of friends, when they were like the last time they all were really close was back in like the 80s,
right? When
they were all like right out of high school, I think, something around that time.
Yeah, I think it was like
like late teens, early adulthood time for them. And he's trying to get them all back together to just hang out and stuff. And they're all just blowing him off because he's a total asshole and he's a pain in the ass. He's that friend that you love, but you don't want to hang out with.
Right.
You love from afar. That's him. So he winds up in the hospital because he tries to kill himself.
Naturally.
But it's funny, the way he tries to kill himself is actually hilarious. And then he gets in the hospital, and then they all feel like this level of guilt wash over them, where they feel now obligated to hang out with him and rekindle their friendship, at least so that he doesn't try and kill himself again.
Yeah.
And it's just, the circumstances are so great because they go away to this cabin to relive their youth, but the cabin is fucking torn to shambles.
Like
the whole resort, the town looks like shit. The shops are boarded up. It looks terrible. It's in no way the way they remember it, which is kind of a cool metaphor for the way you think about nostalgia. You know what I mean? Like everything seems great from afar, from a distance. Looking back on these memories, they're great.
Until you get up close.
When you get up close and you remember,
oh, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, that girl that I've been fucking thinking about for the past 30 years, she cheated on me with my cousin, and I totally forgot about that. Like shit like that, you know what I mean? Like memories, things like nostalgia always seem great from a distance, but when you actually get back to those places, then I thought that illustrated it really well, you know what I mean?
No, it definitely was a good one. Like I said, I really like the cast of that one.
But they get there, the hot tub is like a time machine that transports them back into their younger bodies. And they have to relive the last weekend that they spent there. And it's this amazing hijinks and hilarious circumstances that they get put into that are just fucking incredible. And then I think the ending is the best part when they eventually, you know, get back and like what's happened to the world is fucking amazing. But go ahead,
dude.
man.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in so long. That's another one I'm gonna have to go back and watch again because it's
Really
been a
good.
minute.
Really solid.
Alrighty, so
Also, the douchebag Snow Patrol guy is the guy that plays the Winter Soldier in the Marvel movies. You know.
Oh, for real, Bucky?
Yeah.
It's Bucky.
That's the douchebag like fucking Snow Patrol guy that's starting to fight with him. Yeah.
Yeah, he had like okay.
Or do you remember the fucking guy who got his arm cut off?
Yeah. From the fucking thing.
They meet this guy when they get to the fucking resort. This guy who's got like a limp, like dead limb.
That's the guy that plays in Back to the Future, the dad.
Yes. So like he's in like this terrible disposition constantly where he has a bad mood, and obviously it's because he got his fucking arm chopped off and like sewn back on, but he can't use it.
Yeah, just
When they travel back in time, he's got
dead.
both of his arms and they both work, so they freak out and they grab him and they think he's some type of spy or something, and he's screaming, he's like, whoa, ah, ah. And he's like, are you robbing or are you raping? And then they look at each other and he goes, wait a minute. Are we robbing or are we raping? He's like, neither. What the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, look at his arm. And they fucking like rip his like arm, like the fucking sleeve.
And shit, yeah.
And he's just like, it's fake. It's gotta be fake. It's real. It's got freckles and shit. No, that movie's ridiculous.
So another one on my list, Pineapple Express.
I've got that on my list.
Yeah.
That's
probably like my favorite. I mean, it falls under the category of like stoner comedy.
definitely.
But it's probably like one of my favorite stoner comedies. But it's also just comedy wise,
Yes,
just in
agreed.
general, so fucking funny. I quote that movie
Constantly.
just about every day.
I quote it. I quote the PG like version of it because I've told you before,
yeah.
I think it's the funniest version out of instead of the R-rated one where they use all the cursing and stuff like that. I so much more prefer the version that they censor because I think it's hilarious, like the words that they replace it with.
Yeah.
It cracks me up every single fucking time. Instead of motherfucker, he says mucka lucka.
Mucka lucka, yeah. There's Mucka lucka. Who's that, Craig?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I
He's
love
like-
that fucking movie so much. Like I said, there's so many quotable
And
movies.
Matheson.
Hi, Ted. He's like, it was just here. He like dips his hand right into the macaroni. He's like squeezing it. He's like, where's your gun? He's like, I'll kill motherfuckers with my bare hands. He's like, get your fucking gun. Like, what the
I forgot that shit, dude. Oh my god.
He's like, what about your sack? Oh, it's all fucked up, man. Oh, that's terrible. I meant like your bag of weed. He's like, oh yeah, we could totally sell that, man.
And then he runs back to the apartment and he goes, he's like, when he freaks out, and he's like, dude, get whatever we can. Get the
Just
drugs,
throws them all over
get
the
the
printer.
drinks, get the water, get fruit roll-ups, get the snacks.
Get the snacks. He's like fucking Burger King chicken fries. He's like, you just threw up all over my printer, man. What the fuck? He's like, how the monkeys did you get in here? But I still,
Dude,
to my
Saul's moments have
I
the most
thought hurricane
James Franco-
season was over. I say that every
all the
fucking
time.
year, dude.
I
like
said that
always.
to Benexi the other day. I got into the car and it was storming, and I go, and she was like, there must be like a hurricane or something. And I go, I thought hurricane season was over, and she was like, no, not really. It just started, and I was like, it's a
just forget it.
it's a thing, man. It's a thing. I don't want to get into it. It's so fucking the cross joint.
I can't even light this shit by myself, man.
It's
And the fucking when they have what's his name tied up in the fucking duct tape, and they got the
God.
cactus.
fucking, it's a weapon to fucking stab him with.
It's like, I know I've been a real asshole to you guys. Just, if you go out the back door,
They were just here.
They were
They
just
ran
here.
out.
Go,
You
go,
can
go, go,
catch
go. You
them.
can catch them. And he drops in the trash can. He's like, what do you do? We need the run. He's like, I'm already in here, man.
Dude, yeah.
Such a
It's like,
fucking-
dude, I already jumped in. I don't want to. Everything
Dude,
about that movie
it's
is so fucking
perfect.
amazing.
I love that. That's
so
seriously
funny.
probably like one of my favorites ever.
Yeah, it's
So
just one
fucking
of those
funny.
movies that's so goddamn funny. You can't help but love it.
No, for sure.
There's absolutely. I honestly, I can't. I'm trying to think if there's anything bad I can say about that movie. It's not like incredibly. It's not like the cinematography isn't amazing. It's not
Yeah.
like this masterpiece of like to visually look at.
But still, I mean,
honestly, like you
it's
would not
fucking
give
good.
two fucks if you watched that movie. It's so fucking good in terms of quality for script, and the acting is fantastic.
Oh,
like,
no, for sure.
I didn't know. Like you think James Franco is this super fucking pothead and stuff.
He didn't smoke at all.
He doesn't smoke.
No.
He's not a smoker.
He just said he would pretend like he was looking into the sun.
That's perfect.
That's
That's
literally what
exactly
he
like.
said. He
That's
just-
exactly how he. He plays it so fucking well, dude. I love the part where he's like,
Prepare to prematurely evacuate. He's like, get the fuck out of my car. I can't believe you even thought that was an option. He's like, oh, you're right. You're right.
You're right. Dude, I remember the
he stabs him with the fucking fork. No, that's my drug dealer. He's good.
Where they're in the tree, and he's like, bro, you know, like how he turns to me, he's like, dude, you know how they say like you should never dip your pen in company ink?
He's like, yeah.
He's like, I'm totally glad I dipped in your ink,
you know
bro.
what I mean,
and
man?
then he's just like,
yeah,
what?
Cool. He's like, you get it. Like, I'm glad. Like, you know, they say don't dip your ink, and he's like, I'm just glad I dipped my ink in your company. He's just like so fucking stupid about it, just like whatever.
Retarded. Oh my god. Fucking amazing. That movie is so fucking funny.
That's like I said, one of my top.
Okay, that was yours. Let me see.
So it looks like this episode is just gonna be a Johnny Rocket dedicated episode.
Seriously?
We're already at an hour.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to something that like all right, Kung Fu Hustle.
Is that the one?
I'm glad you're not sure about this. This is great because if you haven't seen,
no, I know.
Are you thinking about Kung Pao?
I am thinking of Kung Pao. So I have seen Kung Fu Hustle, but every time I get those two mixed up.
No, Kung Fu Hustle is a fucking masterpiece.
Okay,
it's fantastic because it's both like an incredible like classic kung fu movie where it's like all of the fighting and stuff like that is done by actual like martial artists and everything, and it's an actual I believe, I can't remember if it's Chinese or Korean, to be honest with you. I don't remember. I believe it's Chinese. Sorry if I'm wrong about that. But fuck. Yeah, it's just this fucking amazing comedy, but I only will watch it if there's the English dub to it because it's so fucking funny. It's funny when you watch it like subbed and it's still the Japanese voice acting and it's like the normal, but it's so much more funny. In English, the voices are ridiculous. They're
the
goofy.
subs are always
They're so insane.
Or the dubs, yeah.
The main character's voice, all the other characters' voices are insane. They're fucking ridiculous. The things that they have them say, the translations, are all fucking hilarious and weird. And it's so fucking entertaining to watch on just a kung fu standpoint. You're like, damn, this shit is so fucking awesome. God damn it, this is so fucking cool. It's so over the top. It's like if you've ever wanted to watch a live action anime, they're all terrible. This is the one exception.
True. I never even thought of it like that.
If you ever thought, what would be a live action anime done right? It's this fucking movie. Kung Fu Hustle. Watch the movie. You will not be disappointed. If you ever wanted to go, I wonder what a Dragon Ball fight would look like in real life, this is what it would fucking be like.
I'm not mad at that choice then.
Yeah, and it's fucking hilarious. It kills me every time, dude.
So this one,
dude, there's like a 3-minute fucking scene of him trying to throw a knife. And he just keeps stabbing himself.
Dude, to be honest with you, I haven't seen that movie since I was a fucking kid.
Like the whole, like there's this lady that he's like sent to fucking assassinate or something.
Right,
like,
right.
The main
He keeps
character,
missing,
and he's got a knife, and he's just like 1, 2. And he like stabs himself. And he's like, oh shit. Or like they'll like go and throw. Or no, it's someone else goes to throw it. So he's like 1, 2, and then he pulls back and then he stabs him and he's like, oh god. And then he's like, all right, we'll fix this. You throw the knife this time. And he throws it and it comes back and stabs him again. And it's like minutes long of him but it works so well. It's like not one of those jokes where it overstays its welcome. Like they find a way to keep making it interesting.
There's a few like where that they can get away with that, where it's just those long jokes, but it's like the longer it goes, the funnier it gets. But they find the perfect time where you cut it off right there, because if not, it gets like to the point it's like, okay, we get it, we fucking get it. But there's this that golden little area, that little fine line.
That's where comedy. That's
it
where
just
comedy
rides.
lives. That's where it lives.
Yeah, that's where it rides.
That's where it
right there.
thrives right there. Every comedian or joke writer or anything wants to find that fucking area where you can make the joke last as long as possible without letting it fucking lose its
out and just lose its.
And that's tough.
You
have to either have a really great, like, fresh joke that just really approaches an idea in an interesting way, or you have to really know how to craft a joke. And if you meet those two things together, if you're great at crafting a joke and you have this amazing idea, that's when you get magic, like a fucking something like Pineapple Express.
Well, that's like my next one that I'm gonna tell you. I feel like that fits perfect for that, which is Old School.
Oh, that was on my list and I took it off.
Dude.
See, I also thought about this. I was like, what might Julian put on his list?
Gotcha,
So I wanted to take some
yeah.
stuff off there because I was like, you might put some of these on there.
Right.
And I kind of had a feeling some of them I still left on there. It's so good. It's so fucking funny.
That's one of those ones where the story is perfect. It's one of those relatable, you know, things, but it's so perfect and so just outrageous.
When they tie the cinder blocks to their fucking their balls.
You're my boy, Blue. But he's like, yeah, the fucking
the
fat
fat
black
guy.
guy just fucking falls. Ah! You see his little ass cheeks, the cellulite.
There's a scene where it's a bunch of like middle-aged men.
Yeah.
So it's Owen Wilson's brother. I forget what his name is. It's like Tom Wilson or some shit like that. John Wilson, whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't
Vince
got a
Vaughn
fucked up
and
nose.
Will Ferrell. They all kind of fall into this circumstance where they decide just by happenstance to start their own fraternity. Because they live like off of campus of a college, university, or something.
Some loophole
that they found that they could start their own fraternity without technically being affiliated with the school while also being affiliated with the school. It's a ridiculous plot, but it's fine.
The fucking dean.
The guy from Entourage
who
plays the agent.
What the fuck is his name?
I
can't remember.
can't
his name.
remember
He's
it.
fucking.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, terrible in that movie.
What's it called? But basically,
Let me take a piss real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll talk about the movie. There's a scene essentially where they do like an initiation, like a fraternity naturally would do, where they have all of the people pledging to be a part of the fraternity lined up on the edge of a building, like probably second, third, or fourth floor, something like that, right? They're all standing on the edge with their pants down their ankles, and the characters are talking, and the main character goes, "Now you might be wondering to yourself why you're standing at the edge of a building, why we're on the so-and-so floor. You might also be wondering why you're holding a cinder block, why that cinder block has a rope tied around it, and then you might also wonder why that rope is firmly secured to your penis."
To your penis.
And then you quickly realize that the initiation is that they're supposed to trust that the sorority guy, the fraternity guys, it's a trusting like ritual or whatever, where they're supposed to trust that they gave them enough slack on the ropes,
yeah,
so that when they drop the cinder block, however many stories high they are, it'll hit the ground with enough fucking slack that it won't yank their fucking dick and balls off. So everyone drops them and it's like a sigh of relief, and you get the giant fat black dude drops it and it goes right into a manhole and he flies off.
Dude, there's so many fucking, like, there's this scene where fucking Will Ferrell's character gets all fucked up.
Yeah, when he tranquilizes himself with
that's another one. Yeah, and he's making out with what's his name?
It's the dude who played Stifler in American Pie. He's got like a fake mullet on, and he's like an animal wrangler or
kicks
something.
Him in back into the fucking pool.
He goes, "What is this?" He's like, "That's a trank dart, man. That thing will take down a raging elephant." And he's like, oh. He's like, my favorite part in that is the way that the audio changes, because I've been doing this impression for years.
Man.
It's like,
you're fucking crazy.
He's like, "You're crazy, man. You're fucking crazy, man. You're crazy, man." And he's like, and he fucking like dives into the water and just starts dying immediately.
"Hello, darkness, my old friend."
You're my boy, Blue.
I also love the blowjob scene where the fucking Andy Dick is the instructor. He's like, "You think it's funny until a sailor prematurely ejaculates in your eye, and that's why I now have a lazy eye." It's like, good fucking God. Or he's running naked. He's like, "Everyone's doing it. We're going through the corridor.
Nobody's doing it." And then his wife pulls up.
"You think KFC's still?"
They're right back there. Holy shit! Just the beginning of the movie where the main character comes home to his wife and she's watching porn and he's like, "Oh,
it's
thank
like
God!
Worst nightmare.
I thought you were." You don't even want to know what I thought. He thought she was cheating on him, and then they're talking and stuff, and then all of a sudden, out of the bathroom comes a naked dude with a blindfold on, like, "Hello."
And then later on that scene, like, you just hear after like everyone's left from that from that, you just hear the doorbell ring and he answers it, looks around. I'm here for the gangbang.
That guy, the guy for the guy who said that, the here for the gangbang guy.
Isn't he like the writer?
He's also in I don't know, but he's also in The Hangover. Like, you know when you see little Easter eggs from other movies? So he's also in The Hangover in that scene where they get into the elevator when they first get to Vegas.
Oh,
and he's like getting like a blowjob from the girl, and the elevator opens and he's like puts his pants on and stuff, and they get in with him. The same guy. He's wearing the same like everything.
Oh, that's funny.
And the same wedding band from Old School is the same wedding band at the end of The Hangover. If you hadn't noticed that either.
I didn't.
It's just from watching these movies so much that I've like,
So
I was like,
universe.
holy fuck, it's the same exact. Yeah, right.
That's cool.
I don't know if it's the same
Multiverse.
writer or the same director,
Yeah.
but you know, when people like to have those kind of Easter eggs, I really appreciate shit like that.
Yeah,
It's
no, it's
great.
always nice to see that little nod or wink to like other
you're-
comedies and shit.
The thing that I quote the most probably from that movie is
You're my boy, Blue.
I always quote the song where he's, when I see that fucking look in your turn around.
Dude, every time I hear that song, that's what I play. Then fucking or I love when they're doing like the like sporting events and stuff, so they could actually be considered a fraternity. And Will Ferrell is wearing the mascot thing, and he gets fucking engulfed in flames, and he's like, and the locker room's like, God damn it! He's just all fucking red and burned. And then the fat guy jumps on the little bouncy thing and like does the fucking flips and lands.
Yeah, that was
so ridiculous.
So at the beginning of Old School, they sing that song, you know, where it's like turn around every now and then again. Yeah. And then they put like that fucking twist on it where like everyone's like, what the
and
fuck?
then just like, okay, whatever.
But at the end of The Hangover, when the band is playing, if you pay attention, they're actually doing like like an acoustic version of Pimp by 50 Cent.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they
So
are.
he's just like, you can have it your way. However
my
you
God,
want
yes,
it,
it
gonna back that
is.
thing up, or should I push back on it? And like the old couple is dancing, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, same band, dude. Same fucking band.
That's
Fantastic.
awesome.
I love shit like that, man. Okay, let's see what else is on my
We're
list.
pretty much almost done with our list.
Yeah, I've got like a few left, but okay, for me, this one it's almost like two.
Okay.
Because it's technically two movies, but I feel like if you watch them together, I'm talking about one specifically.
I wonder if it's going to be one of the same ones I have.
Get Him to the Greek.
Yep, I got Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Yep.
Yeah. So I put Get Him to the Greek in parentheses, you know, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but I feel like that movie's better than Forgetting Sarah Marshall. But if you watch them together,
It's perfect.
It's perfect. It's honestly like. You know, we talk about like those movies. It fulfills so many of the things that like the other movies we've talked about already on the list have. So like the thing that Tropic Thunder does is that it's kind of like a cultural mockery of like Hollywood and like celebrity
right.
in general. I'm having like a staticky
Are you?
thing in my ear.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's better.
It might have just been the headphone jack.
What's it called?
Ooh.
You know, like the thing with Tropic Thunder where it's like the movie industry, Hollywood in general. This is more like the music industry. It kind of does that. But this also has an incredible fucking original soundtrack to it that's also really good, but also really fucking funny.
The fucking rain and or the what was the fucking
African Child.
the African child.
I have crossed the mystic desert.
And then the girls, his ex.
The music videos
Yeah.
where he like births the little African child and it's just a jiggly piece of rubber.
Dude, it's so fucking.
I love the interview at the beginning where it's like an extra like extra
Oh, yeah,
thing.
like an
And
actual-
he's like, you know, when I told them about my costume, I told them to envision
Like a
an
white-
African white space Christ. And he's like, you know, I'm not calling myself, you know, an African white Jesus. That I would never do that. That's not for me to say. That's for other people to say about me. You know?
I honestly, I thought P. Diddy in that movie, Get Him to the Greek,
Fantastic.
was amazing.
Hilarious.
Dude.
Yeah.
He played that like that angry, just crazy, just like you don't know what the fuck's
Fucking
about to
great.
happen. He did, but honestly, I think that's how he is in real life. So he wasn't
Yeah.
playing a fucking character. He was just
Everything-
playing himself.
So much about that movie is just so fucking fantastic.
No, it really is. That's
Where it's like when
a
they
really good one.
when they come up with the idea to send him there and he's talking to Jonah Hill and he basically goes, you know, you're gonna have to set him right. The premise of the movie is that Jonah Hill is a huge fan of one of the biggest rock stars to have ever lived, who's played by Russell Brand's character, Aldous Snow. And so he's like off the rails, like became a drug addict again. I'm taking these off because it's getting so bad in my ear.
Oh, for real?
I'm just gonna say fuck it.
wonder
As
what
long
it
as it's
is.
not coming through for you, then it's fine.
That's weird.
So like you can hear it popping, right?
Oh, I can hear that now. Yeah, that's definitely some type of headphone thing.
Okay, I think it's good now. It might have just been the plug here. I'm not sure. Anyways, so basically, they send him on this journey. It's basically like this. He works as like, I don't know, for like this record company.
Yeah, it's like some.
I'm not entirely sure what his job position is, but essentially he goes
His
off.
babysitter.
He's like the liaison between
Yeah.
him and the record company, essentially, and he's there to make sure that he performs at this anniversary event for his like greatest
hits or some shit
I think
like
it was
that.
his biggest tour ever or something like that. They're doing like the 10-year anniversary of it. And now he's off the rails because if you watch Forgetting Sarah Marshall first, you'll see the same character, Aldous Snow, but he's been sober for years.
Yeah.
So this being the sequel, you see him after the movie. In this sequel movie, he's
fucking good.
he's completely off the rails, drug addict, fucking like alcoholic again. And it's fantastic.
I love when he has Jonah Hill put the heroin in his bum. He's just in there at the fucking.
He's like, when he
talking
goes to buy it, and he's like, "Can we stop right here? I just want to get a pretzel." And he gets out, and he's like, "He's not getting a pretzel, is he?" To the driver, he's like, "Not the kind you put mustard on." It's all about the way that they fucking do these things.
He goes up to the fucking person up front at the front desk. He's like, "Is there a guest of the name of H?"
Yeah, he goes to the
E-
front desk
He's
person
like, "Are
at
you
the
asking me if
hotel.
there's a guest named Heroin? Is that what you asking right
Yes.
now?"
He's like, "Dude, do you understand how fucking ridiculous that is? That you would come to my job and ask me if I can find you heroin? I don't know, man. Do you know him or not?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do. He'll be outside behind the buffet
Like
in
20
30 minutes."
Thanks.
Dude, there's a lot of people in that you don't realize because it's also one of those Hollywood movies. There's a bunch of like Mario Lopez is at the beginning.
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah.
have to have all those celebrity interview people there to really make it feel like
Like a
it's
real legit
celebrity
thing.
stuff, like Extra and E! News and all that shit. But there's also like a couple of hidden people in there too. Neil Brennan, the co-creator of Chappelle's Show, makes a very quick cameo when the drug dealer takes Jonah Hill to his place. You remember the guy who comes into his room?
yeah.
He's like, "Dude, give me my money."
Yeah.
That's Neil Brennan. And he's like, "What are you gonna do, dude? You're not gonna
fucking
stab
stab
me in
me."
my room?" And then it cuts to, and Jonah Hill's driving him in his car. Where's the hospital? North Casino Way. And he's like,
I don't
every
know.
road is North Casino Way. And then he carries him and drops him in the front. He's like,
Books it.
"Why wouldn't you just take me inside?"
Oh, it's such a good one.
It's fucking fantastic. The music in that is hilarious. And like I said, all great comedies come from a place of like reality, some depth to them, you know what I mean?
Right.
So we've got this character, the main character, who kind of feels like he's not living up to his fullest potential. He's also got a little bit of like a hero worshiping complex with this guy who he considers to be like this perfect idol, this icon, but then once he
Pulls
gets to
back
know
the
him,
scenes,
you know,
yeah.
it's like that classic case of like you don't want to meet your heroes, you know?
Definitely.
So and then you've got the idol who's sort of reliving the fantasies of when he was like this great and amazing guy who was fulfilling all
And I
of
didn't
this-
even mind like the weird romantic. That wasn't even weird, but like with him and the whoever's ex-wife was, or the mother of his child,
played by Rose Byrne.
Yeah. I mean, it was like there was so much like it was the acting and
There
it was
was a lot
so
going on,
fucking
yeah.
good though, and it was convincing and it was just like, you know, it was heartfelt, but it was just so funny and just outlandish and just so crazy. He's fucking petting the furry wall. Just, what's in a Jeffrey?
My two favorite scenes in that movie. My two favorite scenes in that movie are one of the scenes where they drink absinthe. And they're sitting at the bar. First of all, they have like this crazy fucking night when they drink absinthe and they start hallucinating and the music starts going crazy. But at one point they're sitting at the bar and some girl walks by and Russell Brand's character, Aldous Snow, goes, "Hello, love." And as she walks by, and then Jonah Hill's character like mimics him when another girl goes by the other way. He's like, "All right, love." And then Russell Brand like looks at me. He's like, I don't know if it's in the script or not, but it's fucking hilarious whenever I watch it. It's just so. It's like one of those moments where you're like, "Oh, that's hilarious." And the other one is when when Russell Brand stabs Jonah Hill in the heart with the adrenaline because he's having a panic attack from the drugs.
I love the camera angle.
Yeah, where it just like shoots up with him, and then he just kind of runs like a zombie, and you see the girl throw the pool ball at his head.
That shit, dude, is fucking
it's amazing, but it's also got some depth to it. And like I said, I feel like the best comedies come from a place of depth. When you can find the funny in a situation that otherwise wouldn't be funny,
right,
that's where you've made something brilliant.
For sure.
You've got like two friends who are afraid of losing each other, of losing their youth, going off in separate directions. Boom. You're like, you say that to somebody, they're like, there's nothing inherently funny about that. Well, that's because you don't have the personal experience to make that funny.
Right. Or
whereas someone like this does. We're in all of these different situations. When we're talking about these classic movies like Superbad, Get Him to the Greek, I consider it a classic. I don't know.
No, I would too, honestly.
Even
I would say both of them.
I would say Tropic Thunder, it takes it a much less serious approach.
Right.
I get the idea behind it, which is more so of like this sort of like fading star dilemma of like you feel like you're falling into obscurity, you're not what you once were or anything like that. It sort of touches upon that, but it doesn't necessarily lean enough into it, the depth of the characters, to really explore that with them at all. It constantly makes a joke out of it no matter what. So I'd say in that sense it's not as good.
Yeah, but I mean, that was the kind of like the premise or the base, of that movie
sure.
was basically just mocking.
Honestly,
that
to
whole
me, that's just like a nitpick, anyways.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But whose turn is it?
My turn. So this is actually my last one, and this is one that I just thought of randomly while we were going through our list, and it wasn't even on my list at all. But I Love You, Man.
Dude, that's on. Dude,
I love that
it's
fucking
so
movie, dude. And that's another one of those words. It's so funny, but it's one of those relatable things. And like the way that it progresses, like you get to a point where you're kind of like frustrated with the character, like just why are you doing the shit you're doing, and then just like you feel bad for him. And
there's a common.
It's so fucking their chemistry with Paul Rudd and
I think it's really common
Jason
between
Segel, whatever. Perfect.
I think it's Segel.
Segel, yeah. I love it. It's so fucking good.
I think it's pretty common between like young guys to like be really interested in the like kind of buddy comedy genre, because you just like it always feels relatable to you and your best friend, no matter what. Even if it's completely different than you guys, you can.
It just got that vibe.
Understand the relationship.
Exactly, the dynamic between the two, and exactly.
So you're just like, yeah, I can
what's his
attach
name?
myself to this movie so easily. It's no fucking problem. I Love You, Man. 100% on my fucking list. It's such a good, funny, quotable movie. It's got all the great shit in it that you want. It's got great cameos. The music is really fun. Like,
dude,
it's not like original music. It's mostly like they play a lot of Rush, because that's one of the things
that's like a joke of the thing.
They basically become friends over the fact that both of their favorite bands are Rush. So it's funny like that they're constantly playing it and stuff. But yeah, man, that movie's so fucking good, dude. When he gets into a fight with Lou Ferrigno on the boardwalk,
it's like, why did you punch Lou Ferrigno?
Like, hey, Hulk.
He's like,
first of all, stop calling me Hulk.
Stop calling me Hulk.
He's like,
the paninis.
Fuck you, Hulk. And he throws the fist. And he just catches his fist. And he's like, oh shit. And he puts him in a sleeper hold. He's like, he's putting me in a sleeper hold. And then he's on the phone. He's like, he's fighting Lou Ferrigno.
Or when the fucking dog just shits. He's just like, you're not gonna pick that up. He's like, nah, man.
Best scene is when they meet each other for the first time at his open house, because the main character played by Paul Rudd sells homes. He's like a real estate agent, and he's working on selling Lou Ferrigno's home. That's the basic premise of the story, is that he's been with his girlfriend for a little bit of time, played by Rashida Jones.
Yes.
You would know her from like The Office and Parks and Rec.
Yep.
He winds up proposing to her, and the whole premise is that he doesn't actually have any male friends. He's a relationship guy.
Yeah.
And he's a really cool guy, but his thing is he always focuses on his relationships.
And just kind of puts the
so his male friends kind of
sell
by the. Yeah, exactly. So his whole idea is when
I
that
gotta
gets
make
pointed
some
out to
fucking
him,
friends.
he literally has that moment where he turns away and looks at the
Ugh.
camera and he's like, I gotta make some fucking friends.
Because he walks in there and he hears his girlfriend and his girlfriend's friends are all having a little
Yeah.
girls' night, like saying some shit, and he like overhears them.
That's
and it's
fantastic.
So fucking,
I love that. I love when he makes them the drinks and
with
everything.
the Hershey
Pirouettes.
straws or whatever.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
It
but
is.
he meets this guy at an open house after he starts going on a bunch of like mandates. Like, remember when he
The
goes
dude
on
from
that
Reno
one date?
911.
John Lennon, or I think
Not
it,
Lennon.
yeah, I think it is.
Is it John? Not the singer.
It's Lennon something. I know. I think it's the guy who's the main character from Reno 911.
Yeah, Lieutenant. Fuck his name. The one with the fancy boots and the short shorts.
Lieutenant Dangle.
Dangle.
But I'm trying to remember what his fucking Thomas Lennon. Dude,
Thomas
sorry about that, Tom.
John.
John Lennon over here.
Uh,
I knew his name, but for some reason he's just got a generic white guy first name.
It
John,
happens.
Tom.
John,
Yeah,
Sean.
Thomas Lennon. But anyways, he goes on like a date with this guy, and it's supposed to be like a guy hangout. He's trying to make a friend, you know. So he goes through all the like generic channels, and his mom sets him up with this guy that her friend, it's her friend's son, and she goes, he's new to the city, he wants to make friends too. So they go and they hang out, they get like beer, they eat dinner and stuff like that, they have a good time.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the night,
tries to kiss
he
him.
kisses, no, he does kiss
Yeah.
him, full tongue and everything.
right.
He gets up in there,
Oh.
dude. And I love when he goes home to his fiance and she's like, were you smoking?
He's like, it's
And
supposed
he's
like
like,
an ashtray.
no, this guy kissed me. And she's like, wait, what? And he has to explain the whole fucking story.
I love Paul Rudd, honestly.
Yeah,
He's fucking
great.
phenomenal.
He goes on, he does like the whole internet thing where he tries to meet somebody.
old guy.
He
That looks
looks
like
at
the
a
old guy
picture
from Up.
and it's like a young dude.
Right.
And then when he gets there, it's an old man. Or he meets the guy at the gym. Remember Elmo?
He's
Give me
up.
what you got. What was that? Here we go, Galaxy. Here we
That
go.
was the guy from Brooklyn Nine.
Yes, yeah.
Whatever the fuck that.
Brooklyn
what it-
Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that same fucking
Oh,
dude.
dude. That's really.
And his brother's played by Andy Samberg, who's
Yo.
a gay gym, personal trainer who likes to get straight men to have sex with him.
And I'm pretty sure that guy that he's trying to hit on was
That's another
on
movie
Old
I
School.
quote so fucking much. You know where Andy Samberg is he's like, watch this. Where he starts flirting with the guy and he's like, come on, one more. You got this. Come on. It's beach season.
Yeah.
It's beach
Pinkies,
season.
Pinkies.
I'm barely touching it. Yeah, I quote that shit all the time.
Oh, fucking
I always
awesome.
say it's beach season.
it's beach season.
No,
Pinkies,
but-
Pinkies, barely touching it.
It's literally just one of those movies where it's another one that has like a good amount of depth to it. It doesn't dive too deep into it
Right.
because it's got our two main characters arguably are like on opposite sides of the spectrum but feeling the same thing, which is you've got Paul Rudd who kind of feels he doesn't even notice that he doesn't have any friends, which is so fucking funny. Like
It's terrible.
like
though.
it's like again, like it's a circumstance that normally wouldn't be funny, but to be able to find the funny in like a situation like that
Right.
is really interesting.
And I think the fact that it's like you said, they're pretty much polar opposites, and they're trying
yeah.
to like both become friends.
Yeah,
which is
exactly. But
fucking-
it feels great because it illustrates the fact that sometimes your best friends are the guys that are completely not like you at all.
that's true. Mm-hmm.
So they start hanging out and they realize how different they fucking are from. One of them is a super tight lace fucking guy who doesn't really get personal with anybody. He doesn't give a lot of personal information away. He's very quiet and soft spoken. He's very in touch with his feminine side, I guess you would say. The other guy is very
fucking
outspoken.
slob, just
He's
does not give a
sloppy,
fuck.
fucking
His jerk-off
arguably pretty
station.
gross, but like a really cool guy. And like both of them together, they kind of bring out the best in each other.
No, for sure.
And I think that really illustrates like, okay, they're so different, but they're at the core, like deep down on the surface level, they're really different, which I think is like the testament to like any great relationship is when people look at you and they go, you guys are so different from each other. But if you can look at that person and go, actually, if you knew us really well, you know we're almost exactly the
Perfect
same.
fit, yeah.
Like, because if you get real deep with this shit, we are really alike. And that's how I feel about my relationship. Is like, you look at me and my fiance and you go, you guys are so fucking different. But when we're talking to each other, we go, holy shit, we're the same person.
Right.
It's so fucking weird.
Shit, we're almost on an hour and a half.
Hey man, we can end it here. I'm
Yeah,
totally cool to
fuck
end
yeah.
it
Let's
on
just
the, I
do-
love
yeah.
you, man.
That's a good fuck. Yeah, like I said, I really like that one a lot.
Yeah, no, that's one of the classics right there. My favorite scene in that movie though is when they meet at the open house.
No, yeah.
And he starts talking to him and he's like,
like the
see that
fart.
guy over there? That guy
totally-
really needs to take a fart. He really needs to fart. And he's like, he does seem to be clenching. Yeah,
He's like, yeah, he does kind of.
He's
look
like, yeah,
clench a little
watch.
bit.
As soon as,
Walk
oh
away.
yeah, that's a good move.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, go check out the kitchen.
over there, just
He's
crop
like,
dusting.
he wants to fart, but he doesn't know her well enough to do it in front of her. He clearly hasn't had sex with her yet. And then he literally like breaks
Calls
it down like the whole
like a
he's
play
like,
by.
I saw him fucking come in here in like a Kia Soul or something. He's like, it's not a bad car, but I mean, what's this house worth? Like 20, 30 million. He's like, I don't think a guy driving that car is gonna fucking buy this house. He's like,
Right.
that's I mean, that's a good point. He's like, watch when she goes around the corner, he's gonna let one rip. And then
Just lifts
I
his
love
leg.
it. You like watch the leg, and it goes, huh?
He's like, oh, he.
And then he just like kind of fans it away. And he's like, he just farted. He's like, look at this guy crop dusting all over your open house. I say crop dusting every time I fart and I walk past something. I'm like, just crop dusting. But the part where the guy's like, he yells over to him. He's like, yeah, buddy, I like it, but it's kind of small. And he goes, yeah, plus it smells like fart.
Oh, I'm about to piss my pants. Oh.
No, but anyways, guys, thanks for listening to this episode. This was our 100 million subscriber special.
Yep. What's up?
Yeah, we really appreciated it. And make sure you're following us on all social media. It's the Cleaning Out My Closet podcast. You can find us at Real Clean Closet on Twitter, Instagram. You can even find us on Facebook at Real Clean Closet, or you can use our full name, the Cleaning Out My Closet podcast. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a bunch of other ones that we never really bothered to
Honestly,
name.
to be honest,
Pretty much
yeah,
anywhere you can
YouTube
find a
and-
podcast. If you're listening to us on something that isn't YouTube, Spotify, or Apple,
You're a fucking idiot.
I was gonna say then, I'm not gonna even mention like what those platforms are because I can't think of any off the top of my head.
can't
But
either.
I mean, good for you. You're listening to us somewhere, so
Yeah.
we appreciate that. Thank you.
Round of applause for you.
But this was a great episode. I had a lot of fun. It is not at all what we intended. This was supposed to be a small segment,
It was supposed to be completely
but
different.
I kind of had a feeling that it was going to be difficult for us to talk about these movies without like talking about the movies.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if we just listed the movies, it would have been really hard.
But it wouldn't have been the same. You know what I mean? Like just wouldn't have been the same.
It was a legit movie episode, though.
Yeah,
like
I'm
the
down
whole
with that.
episode was entirely about just movies, which was
Fucking about
totally
time.
great. So, anyways, guys, we really appreciate you listening. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and again, if there's anything you want us to talk about, for one
Comment
thing,
on the
Johnny
fucking-
Rocket, we really appreciate this comment. This was really cool. We both really enjoyed talking about this.
I really did.
I remember when I brought up to you, I was like, I think we should just do it like as a segment. You're like, yeah, that'd be cool. Like, and I think you called me. You were like, dude, I finished my list.
Yeah, I got really hyped
Yeah,
about
you were
it.
really excited, and I was like, all right, I can't wait to do it. When I did my, dude, if I show you all my like honorable mentions, it's like
I
a
got a pretty
list of
big list.
30, and it just goes and goes and goes. So, and they're great fucking movies, man. So this was a lot of fun. This was a great
I
episode.
had a lot of fun with that.
Honestly, even if no one listens to it, I
Fuck,
really
I had
liked
fun
this
with it.
episode. This was great.
Fuck yeah.
So, guys, make sure you go ahead and listen to those episodes, those movies, I should say. And I'm thinking maybe for the description of this on YouTube, I think maybe we should just put our honorable mentions in the description
Okay.
because we've got the list of our like the ones that we already put on our list, like in the
Right.
episode. So for anyone who wants to check out those honorable mentions,
Fucking do that then.
throw those in there.
Fuck yeah.
All right, guys, we appreciate you listening, and kiss your dad for us.
Mwah. Alrighty, we are done recording.